What's your greatest memories about, you know, launching ABC and coming to the States for the first time?
Well, you know, we were a fledgling band up in Sheffield in the north of England with no money, a lot of ambition, and The Lexicon of Love was our sort of calling card. It was our first album. It was very luxuriant sounding, yes. And it was aspirational. We kind of wearing suits and building a whole world around ourselves, a fictitious world, I suppose, with songs like The Look of Love and Poison Arrow. Yeah. So gradually, for that to become successful, turned our whole world around. You know, so coming to this, you know, USA, and we met Andy Warhol in New York, and he took us down to the factory, and you know, we're like 21 years old. We've never been anywhere. My only regret then is I didn't have any cash in my back pocket. I could have bought some paintings. Yeah. And then, you know, playing a show, and then Stevie Wonder would come backstage and say, you know, I'm playing The Look of Love on my local radio station. You know. KJLH, I think it was. And that was his radio station. That's it. Not the one he listened to, he owned it, you know.
It's still here.
Like so, you know, music, it's about making your dreams come true, really,
Yeah. Well, who are your inspirations to be able to put on a spectacle like that? I mean, you had punk rock, you had the gritty new wave going on. Who inspired you to say, everybody's going right, we're going to go left?
Well, that's definitely what our careers have been always been about. When everybody goes right, we did go left. When they were buying, we were selling. You know what I mean? That's how we played it. Yeah. Revolt into style, rebel against what was going on. That, you know. Now, obviously, it's kind of important. I love punk rock. I love the Clash and the Sex Pistols. Yeah. The Jam, Susie and the Banshees, the Cure. I used to go and follow all those bands around. But when I was a lot younger, so when I got a band together, I knew that we wanted to take it in a totally different direction, a more kind of flamboyant, kind of, like I say, sort of cinematic sort of direction, a more ambitious sound, a more polished sound. Yeah. Because those bands had done it brilliantly, you know, I wasn't going to copy them. So that's pretty much where we were coming from. Same with Duran Duran, I suppose, and Depeche Mode, and Human League, I don't know, bands that were coming through at that time. In the early days of MTV and stuff. Yeah,
I mean, how can you outclash the Clash, you know?
I used to love the Clash. I used to sing with Joe Strummer, God bless him. Yeah. The Electric Circus, I saw the Anarchy tour with the Sex Pistols, the Clash, Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers, the Buzzcocks. Yeah, it's phenomenal. But, like, you know, our generation came through with something different, and I think that was important.
Sure.
But then after that, I have to admit, as soon as anybody really kind of tried to follow our tail, we'd definitely go off and, you know, zigzag in another direction, like a yacht across the sea. And sometimes that would lead down to some very inspiring places, but sometimes there was a couple of artistic cul-de-sacs, you know. But I think that's why, in a funny kind of way, now, all these years on, we're still popular in a way, because we tour in 2014. People go back and check out different parts of the ABC story. Yes. Rather, it's been a sort of checkered story. Hi, Dan. I'm just doing an interview. Yeah, it wasn't locked. It's Julie, my wife.
Hi, how are you?
It's Julie, my wife. Just finished an interview. That was dancing.
Sure.
It wasn't locked.
Now, obviously, Tamla Motown, big influence. You know, how much of that influenced Lexicon Love with the Temptations and the Four Tops and the Suits and all that?
Yeah, with the Temptation, it did. Because on Top of the Pops in the UK, we performed The Look of Love. Yeah, we wanted to be like the Temptations. We didn't want to be like the Beatles or the Stones. You know, we were trying to sort of take our music in a different direction. We weren't the Temptations, obviously, but it's kind of an aspirational thing. Yeah. So. The beauty of Motown, I mean, Holland Dozier, Holland, Smokey Robinson, all the writers, they were kind of incredible pop operas, you know, that took place over 3 minutes, you know. It's the songwriting. And the whole idea of, in Detroit with Motown, they kind of made songs like to order, like they made cars, you know. There was this whole idea of this production line of pop was a kind of an idea that definitely inspired us. And some of that's in Poison Arrow and Look of Love, definitely. Yeah. Some of those songs on that album,
I just watched the documentary on the Funk Brothers again last night. incredible.
Yeah.
Talking about a machine.
Yeah.
They had just the hits.
The
They scrolled down at the end of the documentary, the hits. They went on for minutes. I couldn't believe the volume of hits.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
Unbelievable. Well, we're just reminiscing about when Smokey sings. Obviously, it's inspired by hearing his voice, and you got to meet him. He came to the taping in Hollywood. To talk about the inspiration, you know, of a classic voice like that. You actually turned it into a song.
When Smokey Sings, our song, it was about the power of music to make you feel good. You can start your day feeling bad, but music can take you somewhere. It's therapeutic. So it was that idea, and growing up I loved Motown, as I say, and Atlantic and Stax, and go to clubs and hear that music. But I'd also love Smokey Robinson's lyrics, you know. He's obviously a great lyricist, so it was about how uplifting music could be. And when Smokey Sings, the song, it came out of that really, I'd gone through a tough time prior to that, so I was listening to a lot of music just for pure pleasure. After years of making music commercially, so you kind of realise it's just got power, it's a deep thing really. Beyond record companies, beyond marketing budgets, beyond whether a record's a hit or a miss or whatever, you know. It was kind of about the power of the music, and that's what the song's about.
That's amazing. Yeah. And then of course, How to Be a Zillionaire is a whole nother left turn.
Yeah.
You know? What are your greatest memories of that era of ABC?
It was chaos really. The label hated the record because it wasn't the Lexington I Love, it wasn't anything like it. But for us, we wanted to do like cartoon characters, synthetic, modern sort of hard, what became like a hip-hop sound in a funny kind of way, the electronics of it. With Be Near Me and How to Be a Millionaire and Fear of the World, some of the other songs in that one. So it was kind of like a Jeff Koons record, you know, it's like kind of taking the music and taking it inside a gallery. That's definitely what happened.
Sure.
It was a great time, the funny thing was it became almost successful records. It sold the most. Tina Turner was about to do a world tour and she wanted us to kind of open up for it, but we never did that, unfortunately. But
timing?
It would have been fantastic, to travel the world with that.
Sure.
But you know, it's important to kind of experiment and try different ideas out, and I think that's what we did as a band. Yeah.
Now, obviously, the business has changed so much, you know. Back then you had the big machine, you know, with the big record label and MTV and everything. How daunting was that? That they wanted the same, they wanted, you know, they wanted it their way, and you're artistically wanting to do it how you felt from the heart.
We made 6 albums throughout the 1980s. You know, occasionally you get what they call slab fever, where you come out and with something new and wonder if you wanted to, you know, you thought it was perfect, you wondered if you wanted to just kind of throw it out there. But as soon as you finish writing a song, it's public property. I've got used to that. I never really had a problem with it. But back then, the level of expectation would be higher each time we made a record, definitely. So by the time we'd done 6 albums, it was time to just do something else, to chill. So I spent a whole period of time, Julie and I had kids, Nancy and Louie, but then it was nice to kind of walk back in again and people go, oh, you know, he's still around, do you want to come and play? So around about the late 90s I got out and started touring again.
Sure. As Motown was for you, you know, your music is for so many people here. It's the soundtrack of their life.
Yeah.
Brings them back to the 80s. Great time.
Yeah.
You know, the live shows, the festivals and everything. What is it about music that's like that snapshot for your life?
I think what it is when I get out there on stage in 2014, people say, is it nostalgia that makes you sing Poison Arrow, The Look of Love? It's not. What works for an audience today is they buy a ticket and they want to just escape the present. You know, in a way you're pulling in 2 directions. You're kind of taking them back to the past, but you're taking them forward as well. And that's what's great about developing as a performer and kind of cutting it. It's about kind of doing something that means a lot to an audience today. And the audience can just kind of forget about, pack up their troubles in their old kit bag and they just kind of have a great time.
Yeah, get away.
That's what I think music does.
It's fantastic. Now, all that you've seen and been through, what advice do you give to that young singer, that young songwriter today? What do they need to concentrate on to have a shot at, you know, what
originality.
you do?
Originality every time.
It's
the only thing that takes you forwards. Yeah, you can't please all the people. So I'd say if you've got one original idea, it's about honing it and polishing it and, you know, finding the right frame for it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And what can we expect in the future?
I think it's time we made another album. Yeah, feeling that. So it'll be interesting to kind of get back in the studio and start recording.